Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I will be showing you my Grindhouse releasing titles. And I don't have too many titles at the moment. I only have, let's see, I have 5 Blu-rays and 2 DVDs. So this is definitely a label I'm going to focus a little more attention on and buy up some more of their stuff. And I actually have one on pre-order right now, which is Cannibal Ferox. So I believe that'll be coming out in early May, late April, early May. I'm not exactly sure, but if you guys are interested in that one, maybe you should go over to diabolicdvd.com and put in a pre-order for that. We will start with Burt Lancaster in The Swimmer. And this film was released in 1968, and Burt Lancaster was 53 years old when this movie came out, and he was in incredible shape. I mean, this guy was just cut. I mean, for a 53-year-old man, this guy was in very, very good shape. And this movie, it's hard to describe this movie. It's kind of like a Twilight Zone, where it starts out in the beginning of the movie. Burt Lancaster's character is a former stockbroker who was released from a mental institution. And he doesn't have a car, so he wants to swim home. And he wants to go from yard to yard to yard, swimming through swimming pools. And as he's doing that, he comes across some strange encounters with people from his past. You don't really know if it's people from his past or it's all his imagination. But some of the encounters were good, and some of them were very bad and dark. And as he swims from pool to pool, he tells his life story. And each encounter he has opens up a different interaction with his memories. So it's a very good ending. I'm not going to give it away. You'll have to check it out yourself for those who haven't watched it. And this is a very good release. I recommend picking it up. It's a DVD Blu-ray combo. And it comes with a pretty thick booklet. And here you got the Blu-ray. And you got the DVD. And then underneath, there's some kind of like, I think it's foliage, a scene of him walking through the woods, which this movie has some pretty chilling scenes in it. You know, it's the kind of movie that stays with you when you're done watching it. And if you haven't watched The Swimmer, I recommend picking it up. And the quality was very good. It comes with like a 10-page booklet here. Just has some essays and some pictures of the film and stuff. So that is The Swimmer from 1968. And next up we have Peter Cushing in Corruption. And this movie came out in 1968 also. And this is one of Peter Cushing's crazier roles. I mean, he really played this role phenomenally. I mean, he was a complete wacko in this movie, a psycho. And he played a surgeon. And in the beginning of the film, you see he's dating a much younger woman, a beautiful woman, and they're at a party, and some kind of a light fixture falls over and smacks her in the face, crushes her face, and disfigures her face and burns her up pretty good. So Peter Cushing discovers that he can restore his girlfriend's scarred face by murdering women and extracting fluids from their pituitary gland. And but it only lasts for a short time, so he has to go on a killing spree, if you will, I guess. And here you have this is the Blu-ray. And then you have the DVD, and then it comes with a reversible cover. And basically it's the same cover as on the front, only this one is more censored. But this is a very good movie. I would probably give this about a 6 out of 10. I mean, I've seen better films, but it's got a very good role by Peter Cushing. I mean, he's been in a lot of horror movies over the years in the 60s and 70s, but this is one of his more insane roles here. It comes with a pretty cool booklet. But I'd like another, actually it looks like it's a little poster. It folds out and it has some little essays on the back. So that is Peter Cushing in Corruption from 1968. Up next is An American Hippie in Israel, and this is the deluxe 3-disc set. And this was limited to 2,000 pieces. I don't know if you can see that sticker there. I have number 1548 out of 2,000. And Grindhouse Releasing has since re-released this as a 1-disc edition that is not limited. But this one is out of print and it's sold out. So this movie is very bizarre. It's a 1972 film, and I would classify it as like a action comedy, and it even has some sci-fi in it a little bit. It's this is not a very good movie. I'd probably only give it about a 5 out of 10 probably. It's just about a group of hippies that search for freedom and happiness like any hippie would. And the lead character, Mike, is the hippie here. He leaves New York because he's protesting the Vietnam War and he wants nothing to do with it. So he travels Europe for a couple of years before he lands in Israel. And while he's there, he hooks up with 3 other people, and there's the 4 of them travel around just, looking for happiness, and basically that's all the movie is about. But the weirdest thing about this whole movie is there are 2 guys. These 2 guys right here, they're like entities. They're almost like ghosts in kind of in a robotic way. And they're out to kill Mike. And, while he's searching for happiness, he's also dodging these evil entities. So it's a very, very bizarre movie. I would not really recommend this unless you're into collecting everything that Grindhouse puts out. Or if you just want some cheese that makes no sense at all, pick this one up. But you got the Blu-ray here, it's region free, and then you got the DVD that's region free, and then you have the bonus features on DVD, and then it comes with another little poster of the film, and then it has another couple write-ups about it. So that is An American Hippie in Israel, and I don't really have too much else to say about that movie. It's not that great. So next up is probably my favorite Grindhouse Releasing title, and they really did a great job on this one. And I was proud to see that they put out a movie that nobody else had put out yet. And that's what I'd like to see from companies, instead of the same companies putting releases out after releases of the same thing that somebody else put out already. I was very, very pleased to see the big gun down, and I hadn't seen this since the VHS days. And this is the 4-disc edition, and it comes in a very thick, heavy case here, and you can see I flipped the cover to give it the Italian cover, and then you got the box with the American release title on it. And this is a Lee Van Cleef and Tomas Milian movie, and you got the extended release, which has 15 minutes more footage than the American release used to have. This is the Italian release, and it's, like I said, it's 15 minutes longer than the American release was. And then here you have the director's cut, and here you have the expanded US cut, and then you have the Ennio Morricone soundtrack, which is awesome. And then here's the reversible cover that you saw here on the slip box. And this is a remarkable edition right here, and I really recommend picking this one up. If you haven't picked this one up already, go grab it. This is Grindhouse Releasing's best release to date, as far as I'm concerned. But basically, a little quick synopsis of the movie is Lee Van Cleef's character was a hired gunman who takes pride in cleaning up a lot of the riffraff and bandits that live in Texas. And he does such a good job that the governor proposes that he is become a candidate for the U.S. Senate. And just before he accepts that, he finds out of a Mexican bandit named Chuchillo, who is played by Tomas Milian, that supposedly, allegedly, Chuchillo killed and raped a 12-year-old girl. So Lee Van Cleef, being the Good Samaritan bandit hunter that he is, goes after Chuchillo. And basically, during the course of the movie, as Corbett is chasing Chuchillo, Corbett learns more about Chuchillo and the story that went on, and he learns more about the crime. And he starts to wonder if Chuchillo really was responsible for the crime. And I'm not going to give it away. You're going to have to watch it yourself to find out if indeed he did kill and rape the 12-year-old, or if he was set up, or what. You have to find out for yourself. But this is an excellent movie, and go pick this one up right away. Next up is my newest addition to the Grindhouse releasing collection, and this is Lucio Fulci's The Beyond, and this is the one with the glow-in-the-dark slip box, and I have not opened this one yet. I do own this movie a couple different times, and I have seen it probably a dozen times already, and I do plan on watching this particular edition. I'm just not going to open it until I do, but the next time I do view this movie, it will be this release. And this is the 3-disc deluxe edition. Comes with 2 Blu-rays and a CD soundtrack. And I'm sure a lot of you picked this one up already, but this is a must-have in anybody's collection. If you don't own this movie already, pick up this edition. I mean, this one has everything that you'll need for this movie, and this is a Lucio Fulci classic, the Maestro. So I don't really have too much else to say about that one. You guys probably know pretty much. It was, the alternate title of this was called Seven Doors of Death, and this movie was released in 1981. And I would probably give it about a 7 out of 10. And this movie relied heavily on its gore special effects, and that's pretty much what people remember most about this film, is the gore, because the acting was average. And it stars Katrina McCall, who also was in a couple other Fulci classics, House by the Cemetery and City of the Living Dead. And it also stars David Warbeck, who also had worked with Fulci previously, and he was in Twins of Evil, and he was in some spaghetti westerns. He was in Duck You Sucker. And unfortunately, Mr. Warbeck passed away at the early age of 55 in 1997. But he was a pretty good character actor from his time. You know, he was in a lot of these lower budget Italian gems. But that is The Beyond, and if you haven't picked it up, go ahead and pick it up now. I believe that there were 5,000 of these slip box covers that glow in the dark available, and I'm pretty sure there's still quite a few left. So if you haven't picked this up yet, I would recommend picking up the Grindhouse releasing The Beyond. And then next up I have 2 DVDs. And the first one is Pieces. And this movie came out in 1982. And, you know, it's a gory movie. It's about a killer who, he attempts to put together a body using pieces of other bodies that he kills. He wants to put together a jigsaw puzzle of human body parts, basically, is what it is. And he's killing young co-eds that are being butchered by a chainsaw on a college campus. And if you see the character right there, this movie was written by Joe D'Amato, and he wanted the killer to look like the Shadow from the comic book. So that's why the killer has his unique look like that. They wanted him to look like the Shadow. And this movie stars Christopher George and his wife Linda Day, or Linda Day George. And, you know, it's a good movie to own. I have this movie a couple different times, and I'm very proud to own the Grindhouse releasing version of it. And this is the movie on disc 1, and this is the special features on disc 2. And this DVD was released in 2008, and then there you get a good gore shot of one of the young co-eds that was butchered in the bathroom. So that is Pieces. I'm sure most of you have already seen this probably a dozen times already, but that's a good addition to get. And then last but not least is another Fulci classic, and this is one of his later films. This one was put out in 1990, and that is Cat in the Brain. And this might be his last good movie. And when I say good, it's one of those movies that's so bad it's good. He put this one out in 1990. And in 1991, he put out Voices from Beyond, which I thought was pretty good too. But those were probably his last two good films. And the maestro passed away in 1997. And comes with a little thin booklet. There's Antonella Fulci, his daughter. She has a nice little essay about it. There's also some bonus features in here with interviews of Antonella and her father, Lucio. About a 10-page booklet here. And then you got the DVD on disc 1, and then you got the special features on disc 2. And then you have a little scene of Fulci in the background. And that's I would like to have that as a poster. That's pretty cool. So that is Cat in the Brain, and I would probably classify this movie as a comedy horror, and it actually stars Fulci. Fulci's a star in this movie. You can see him right there. And this movie has a ton of cheese and a ton of gore, and this is a splatter film. And it even has a bizarre Nazi torture orgy scene, and I'm sure if you guys saw this movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very low budget film. It was produced at a $100,000 budget, and it was also called Nightmare Concert, which I have the German media book on Blu-ray. So I have not watched this one yet. I have seen the film, and I watched it on Blu-ray. I'll probably put this in someday. I'm not sure when, but that is my small Grindhouse releasing collection. If you have any Grindhouse releasing titles, please comment below. Let me know which ones I should pick up. And thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.